Good morning. Have you ever been afraid to try something new? One thing that always scares me is to try new foods. When I hear somebody say, "Wow, this is great, you got to try it," my body just shuts down. I don't like trying to eat things that I've never ate before. Well, unless it's chocolate. If you know me, I love chocolate. And after all, they don't make any bad chocolate. Well, unless it's that white chocolate, because to me, that's an oxymoron. I mean, how can you be chocolate and white at the same time? Or how about the time that Jesus or God went to Moses and he said, "Moses, I want you to go to Egypt and tell Pharaoh to let my people go." And Moses says, "God, I can't do that. I'm not qualified." And he goes through these 3 miracles with God. And in the end, he says, "Well, Lord, I still can't go. I stutter." And God says, "Well, take Aaron with you." And he goes. Or the time that God goes to Jonah and he says, "Jonah, I want you to go to Nineveh. Tell those people to repent." And Jonah says, I can't do that. And he heads on down to Joppa, gets on a boat and goes the complete opposite direction. Gets spit up on dry ground by that fish and ends up going to Nineveh. Or maybe the time there's that storm and Jesus comes walking on the water and Peter shouts out, "Lord, if that's you, call me to come." He says, "Well, come." And Peter steps out of the boat, out of the water, takes a few steps, begins to sink. But he got out of the boat. And let's face it, if that's you and me, we make excuses why we can't get out of the boat. We shout back to Jesus, "Jesus, you know we're not water walkers." But you know what these men all had in common? They all eventually said yes. And that's what God's waiting on you and me to do. What is it that God's called you to do and you're hesitant to say yes? I hope it's not that you're thinking that your qualifications aren't good enough, because God will supply all of your needs. God is only waiting for you to say yes. Will you do that today? I pray you will. This is Jesse Walker with the Glenwood Church of Christ.